So I'm sitting here doing my exchange, and it is about 11:30 in the morning, and it is so cold. At least for us here in Tucson, it's like 30. I think my phone said it was 32. Um, Life is crazy per usual this time of year. It's the end of the year, and I can't wait. You guys all know that I love a new month. Well, this is a whole nother year, and I think it's going to be a great one, I hope. My initial plan for the new year is to really get right back on track and try to get these positive habits into actually doing them. And trying to stay on top of certain things, because I know that certain things really help make my life easier, such as scheduling my food, scheduling my workouts, staying faithful to doing what is planned for that day, and also like how to maintain the house. Like, I find it very aggravating to have to stop and clean. I try not to get to the point where it's a disaster, but I do want to take each day to just do a little bit, so that I'm not having to take an entire day off of doing the things that I like to do and going to do those things, or having to do those things, and so I'm focusing on that, trying to stay on top of the videos, and trying to get on top of the things that I like to create. But it can become overwhelming, and I know that as long as I stay pretty on schedule and pretty organized, then everything will work out and everything comes together, and I'm not scrambling. And I think that one of the things that I do that makes me scramble is I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, especially when I'm so tired. And I think that is probably a negative that being on dialysis has taught me to do, is to procrastinate when I'm too tired, which is fine and perfectly a normal human thing to do, because your body is telling you you're tired, you don't want to do, can you do it tomorrow? And then tomorrow comes and you're scrambling to try to get caught up with that, right? So maybe that's going to be my thing this year, is to try not to procrastinate as much and just really force myself to do certain things. Like, I have a pile of laundry that really needs to be done, but I just don't have the energy to grab it and take it down the stairs outside in the cold. But then it's so dumb, because I think about, like, what if I was like in, I don't know, Alaska, or what if I was in a place where it snows heavily, and I don't know what people do then, so I feel like I'm kind of being a big baby. Do you ever notice that about yourself? Like, you're like taking it way too far. You can be a little dramatic, but the thought of taking it all down there and doing it and then bringing it back up the steps and then having to fold it all, well, it just doesn't feel like I want to do that today. So I'm not video editing instead, and catching up on the last couple of weeks, or this week, and then also some of last week, which is a lot. It's a lot to do. But the funny thing is I don't have to do the videos. And what I'm talking about specifically is the music videos, for the musicians here in town. But I want them to stay encouraged, and I want them to continue to grow and develop. And so if they don't have something to see, that stops happening. And you can kind of tell. And I'm excited that there are new songs coming out that they're trying, and different ways of playing. And so they're even bringing like weird new instruments to add sound effects. Like, that's way cool. So, as they're investing in their music and their passion, then I just feel like I want to do the same with what I do for them. Um, Again, the new year is fastly approaching. Hold on, I have to turn this off. It's going to be my alarm. There we go. My alarm to drain is over. So now I can switch over to filling. That's broken. You have to break the flangeable. Oh, there you go. The flangeable right here. Otherwise, this won't come down. And then you have to give yourself 5 seconds to unclip the clippy thing on the tube so that the air that's in this tube goes into your drain bag and it doesn't go into your body. And if it goes into your body, it's not like life or death, but it kind of feels like that because the air gets trapped inside your body, usually in your shoulders. I have had it where it drained or it got caught in my ab area, and that really hurt. Like, I was a little bit concerned, like, do I have peritonitis? But no, it wasn't that at all. And but yeah, so you have to let that air get out, otherwise it'll cause a problem later. But again, it's survivable. I mean, I think I took like an Advil or something at one time just because it just like the ache in your shoulder really hurts. So but my exchanges have been really, really good. I haven't had any negatives or anything, and I say that because about a week ago I was filling and I drained my first one and I was like, man, this bag is pretty light. And so when I went to weigh it, it was weighing in at 19, which means that my body, I'm assuming, I think that's dehydration. So my body was absorbing the liquid instead of using it for dialysis, basically, because I put in 2,000. I put in 2 pounds of this liquid. That's what this weighs. And so to get back out to drain in my bag less than that, that's not good. And so I was really surprised by that and a little weirded out. So when I did my next exchange, I ended up going to 5 hours, I believe, instead of my 3 or 4 hours. I think it was because I had an appointment and that threw me way off. So when I drained, because it was a little bit of a longer time, you usually get a higher number of draining out. So I need to get the 2,000 out plus something extra. And I ended up draining, I want to say 28, which is extremely high. Like, that's crazy. Except that if I didn't drain, if I didn't drain the whole 2,000 before, that means that I was lacking. So somehow the dialysis pulled that extra off. And so anyways, it works out. It may seem a little complicated, but it did work out. And I'm glad that that happened. Because I was a little concerned with draining 19 and not the at least 2,000. Like, once in a great while, I will drain just 2,000, which means that I put 2,000 in and then pulled nothing. Which I kind of think, like, isn't that good? Because that means I didn't eat anything or nothing's needing to be pulled out. But I think the point of dialysis is to make sure that you are pulling something extra out and not just doing like 2 in. I think that tells you, like, wait a second, dialysis isn't working for some reason. So I don't know. Anyways, I did have a doctor's appointment last Friday. I believe it was last Friday. And I got there and I waited like 45 minutes. And Friday is really hard for me to have appointments because I have Charlie all day. And so I was able to talk with his mom, and I told her, here's my appointment time. It usually takes me about 10-15 minutes, and then I'm back driving across town. I should be to you at this time. And I sat there and sat there and sat there, and There's been no red flags as far as I'm concerned. I feel good. I've been doing good. I've been draining good. I've been doing dialysis really great. So I really didn't feel like I should stay. So I left. And it's not a slight to Davita or to Beth or anybody. It's just that I felt so much stress. Like, I need to go. I have so many things to do. I need to get Charlie. I have to continue to wrap presents. You know, I needed to clean. I needed to get the stew going. It was like a bunch of stuff. So I wasn't mad. But the only thing I feel like could have been better is if the nurse that came out that I did not recognize never said anything to me. So I feel like sometimes just a moment or sentence could have made all the difference. And I feel like that happens in customer service a lot these days because people don't just take the time. Like if somebody had said, hey, I'm so sorry, we'll be with you as soon as possible. Or what is your name? Let me check in the back. Or like just to see me. That would have made a big difference. So I just decided to leave. I still have to reschedule the appointment. But again, with my dialysis, there really isn't any red flags. And this is now me going on 3 years almost of dialysis. So I know the routine, I know what to do, I know how to do everything. I don't want to be like that slacker patient, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I've been with you guys for this long, so could somebody just say that you'll be right with me? I don't know. Anyways, it's not really a big deal. I think it's just the stress of the holiday that was like, okay, I'm out. So I'll make that appointment, go back in. Again, everything seems fine. So yeah. All right, well, that's about it. I think I will let you go, and you guys have a good and safe holiday if I don't talk to you before then. Okay, bye-bye.